Hey, dude, you went
that close.
No, I think it hot. I think it hit it.
Hey, did anybody hear me? Nobody's on, so it doesn't matter.
Nobody's on right now. So, okay. Don't watch the first second of this show, please.
Sean, did you hear any of that?
Sean's
yes.
not.
No, give a thumbs up.
Dadgummit.
So
All
I
right,
guess
so we're back.
We got a pot going tonight. We'll explain it when he comes on.
We're back. We're live. The return of investment is great on this podcast. There will be no email here at the end of this week saying that the Around the Fire Pit podcast has been disbanded. I really do appreciate you two gentlemen, yeah, I think that's.
I'm just trying to. I'm trying to share this out. I'm sorry.
For those that know, they know what I'm saying.
Shady people doing shady stuff.
Wait, actually, before we get into Ryan, I haven't done my intro in a while. So, y'all ready? Welcome back to the one, the only Around the Fire Pit podcast. As always, you've got the one, the only, the golden voice of the South, the human jukebox, Dave Adams, coming to you live and in living color all the way from the top of the state of Alabama. That's right, in Madison, Alabama, in the Around the Fire Pit podcast studios. And as always, I have brought along my friends from the Great White North, just Matt and Wreck-It Ryan. I was going to play a very, very, very apropos song for you, Ryan, but I'll just sing it. One last time, relax, have a drink with me. One last time. All right, Ryan, take your.
All right, the stage is yours, Ryan.
The stage is yours, sir.
You've heard that before.
Yeah.
How'd that
I'm trying
one
not to
work
swear
out?
right now. Yeah, shoot me in my brain. And then that person pops up every now and then still. And every time I see it, I'm just like,
What?
It's always disappointing.
She was a part of my downfall.
There's a story I need to hear. I don't know if I've heard that story.
Yeah, it's not even worth views on this.
No. It's just like, you know, that super annoying kid that you grew up with that's like always around and you never want them to be around. That's this person.
Okay.
Like they're nice enough that you can't like be extremely mean to them, but you just don't want them around.
I understand that. I might have been that person for a year or two.
Oh yeah,
this person, it's I
mean, we've all been that person at one point in time of our lives.
Yeah. But Ryan, stage is yours, my friend.
Yeah. All right. So, not really good at this kind of stuff, but she's here. But I am stepping away from the podcast for a little while. I have
a little while.
I'm hoping to come back every now and then.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Like, good. Yeah. So, NFL draft night, Thursday night, 100%.
Definitely.
Football season.
That might be a few people on.
Yeah.
Scheduling things on. I'm absolutely back. But, you know, my life is just, it's in a million different places right now for a lot of different reasons. And, you know, I'm thankful for this community that we've created. It's a grassroots community. And
it's really cool, isn't it?
It truly is. And there's nothing bad that I can say about this community at all because, you know, we have people from literally all across the country coming in and commenting every night. And whether it's people that we knew before the podcast or that have come in, there's always something positive. And I think the way that I can best describe it is that if, knock on wood, anybody died and they needed support, every single person in this community would give to that GoFundMe. And
Agreed.
I think that's a sign of something great. But for me, it's just I can't devote the time and effort into this community that I feel it needs from me. Again, there's a lot of stuff on my plate at home between work, family life, community things.
Adulting. You're adulting.
It
happens to us.
It happens to the best of us.
adulting.
Yeah, adulting.
And it's a, to be honest, it's a little bit of a schedule thing for me, and I need a little bit of me time on Thursday nights. But
whoa! What kind of me time are we talking, Ryan?
talking about spending time with family.
Oh, okay. Me time. Okay.
Yes, we're gonna need that.
So we're gonna hold you to that, because last thing I want to see is like 900 pictures of you and the cats.
Yes.
During the time of the podcast.
I need
No.
pictures of Ryan and Nikki, not Ryan and Feline.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the time. Quite frankly, the time that my wife and I have together, a lot of times between her meetings and my meetings and things that we have going on, we might spend 2 hours together before heading to bed. So
yep.
Time is super precious right now. But with that being said, I am a person who plans, and we're all travel planners here. So plan, put it on the calendar.
Not me anymore. I'm out.
We're in.
Okay.
Right, but you're a coach. So
there we go.
So yeah, cheers to the community with my fruit punch and
cherry coke.
This is the last,
wow,
but
all red solos tonight. Nice.
I might be in the comment section at some point.
And we welcome that, Ryan. This podcast started. Let's pull the curtain back here.
It's really because of Ryan.
Yeah,
he's the one that came to us with the idea after Dave and I were so soured about certain people being dickheads.
Yeah. The rate of return for Matt and I our rate of just the rate of investment of Matt and I being podcast hosts was not great at the point when Ryan came to us to bring up a podcast. And Ryan wanted to first start the podcast. He came up with an idea of Disney versus wrestling. And
listen,
I do remember that.
That was that's the podcast. Every week we do a match of Disney versus wrestling. I'm like, Ryan, that's a great episode. I don't know if we could make that an entire.
And the best is we had to figure out like what he meant by that. It's like then like, we had to figure out, was it like Sleeping Beauty fighting Cinderella? Was it like Aladdin versus like Peter Pan?
No,
like,
he actually meant like Undertaker versus.
I can tell you my premise for it was
save it. You might need it for your episode when you come back.
Yeah, well, all right. So March Madness is coming up. So that's
Ric
that's
Flair
what we're
versus
gonna
Goofy. Yes. Could you imagine Goofy in the figure four? Oh man!
Speaking of March Madness, we'll probably do an Around the Fire Pit bracket challenge through one of the websites.
I think y'all know who I'm going to have winning the whole thing.
I don't even know who's the team.
Well,
UConn. Well, they lost the other night to Creighton.
Creighton. Look who's back, y'all.
Producer Chrissy. 900 of the kids have to be asleep.
She finally had her kids and then decided to join us again.
Would you like to? Can you?
Joe doesn't win everything.
Hey, Facebook users, you know how it works. Make sure to go into the.
That's Thacker.
Is it? Hey, speaking of Joe, I was just talking to Joe probably not even an hour ago. We might have a fight announcement coming up soon.
When are we going to get Joe back on again?
I don't want to get him on until he has a fight.
Okay.
He's running into the problem now is everybody wants to fight everybody else except for fighting him.
Because
so long as Joe, that's actually Phil.
Yeah. Well, Phil, he just sent you a pair, you just want a pair of gloves from him the other day.
Yeah.
You can send him to our long lost cousin or whoever the hell that. I was talking to Phil like 25 minutes ago. I got a random message on Facebook from somebody with the same last name. Hey, so like whoever the hell John Manders is, I don't know you, so go pound sand.
Huh. Were they trying to get money or something?
No, I didn't even know nothing. Like I bet he's a loser. Just posted last name Manders. He could be like somebody like really related to me. I don't know. Honestly, don't care.
Anyway, all right. So, Ryan, we will miss you, sir. we really do appreciate the time you've had with us. There's, it's not. I'll do the same thing Disney does on every cruise. It's not goodbye. It's so long. See you real soon. So
We'll be
he's going to stick with us the rest of the show. If his camera doesn't stop bugging out on us.
I have no clue what's going on. I might have to switch my laptop.
Your camera's screwed up. Our guest behind the scenes can't get a microphone that works. He's giving a thumbs up like he knows what we're actually talking about. He's just faking it until he makes it.
I'm worried. Look, I don't have a dump button for tonight. I'm worried about the language that.
So once we get Sean on, I'm gonna talk about that real quick. Sean and I have made a deal, even though I'm probably $20 in the hole already for my first.
You did say a word.
I did, and Sean, I'll add it to your bill. All right. Without further ado, live from Ringe, New Hampshire, my buddy Sean McLaughlin. Sean, unmute yourself.
Gentlemen, pleasure to be here tonight.
Sean.
I feel so weird being the Southerner in the group. Everybody has a New England accent on here.
It's all right.
I don't know if I can even fake having a New England accent. So
yeah, we don't want that.
I could do park your car, hobbit yard, but that's about it.
That's not even funny anymore.
It's not even a thing.
Have I told? I think I told it on the podcast here, but I'll tell it here because Sean hasn't heard this, I'm sure. My youngest daughter is 6 now. When she was first learning to talk, we had a nanny who she's from the South, but her husband is from Boston. And so when Harper was learning to talk, she has this. My wife is from Coleman, Alabama, one of the most southern places. Yeah, there you go, Grantham. Yeah, we're getting that Mississippi drawl on. But my wife's from Coleman, one of the most southern places you'll ever hear. And so we've got me, you've got my wife, and then we have Harper, who is cute little Harper. She has this cute little Southern Belle accent. And then she says, "Dad, get me the stroller." Because she picked up Ken's accent.
The AH. Got to bust out the AH at the end.
Now that she's not with that nanny anymore, the cute little Southern Belle accents come back. So we got to get some God's English in her again.
Yeah.
So Dave, the number one thing you asked, you were very concerned about Sean's language as much as I am. Even though I've known Sean for 20 something years, I'm not overly concerned. So we kind of have a little side thing. Every swear is going to be $5. Up to a max of $250. And being the behind the scenes guy, Dave, I've decided the charity that will get donated to is Give Kids the World Village.
I'm okay with that.
All right.
Excellent. Just because I've actually stayed at Give Kids the World Village.
Oh,
my sister was sick. She'd been sick in the past, and when I was younger, Give Kids the World put us up there for a week, and that's an incredible place. So touche and kudos to you, Matt, on that selection. I appreciate that.
Okay,
I totally forgot about Meg.
Yeah,
nope. I hope she doesn't come beat my ass, but
$5 per
$5.
And obviously I busted out a big boy, so I'll throw a 20.
All right, so there we go.
Damn shit.
Whatever you want.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to try to get up to this. If I can get up to that $250, I'll do it.
All right.
I'm
not keeping count though. Someone has to keep count.
Producer Chrissy. Producer Chrissy's in the chat. Producer Chrissy, get the check marks out.
I hate the term, Matt, but I'm going to cut you off. I'm a stereotypical masshole. I work in construction. I'm around men. There's no need to have a filter. My wife, who's in the background, she's just like me, so God bless her for putting up with me. So, whatever you guys want to consider it, if I can hit $250 and give Kids the World, happy to do it.
Nice. Hey, that's awesome. Normally we really do like to keep it as PG as possible. Let's not go overboard tonight.
Oh, again, if it happens, it's just a natural. It just
right.
Yeah,
right.
Sean and I have already talked about a lot of stories that will not get shared because then it gets.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
But
again, it's usually just adjectives. I'm not using it to be vulgar. Right? Well, it is vulgar.
We're talking about places. When in doubt, bottoms up.
Yeah.
Matt.
So I got to ask you, Sean. The first thing we ask our guests when they come on the show. the three of us aren't drinking alcoholic beverages tonight. I'm feeling like absolute dog shit. There's another one. And Matt has gone cold turkey. Ryan's drinking. What are you drinking, Ryan?
A Tropicana summer fruit punch.
Okay. So Sean, you are the lone alcohol drinker tonight. So what's in that glass? That looks like a good pour of bourbon there.
So I'll start by saying, fortunately, where I am tonight, it's probably had enough and different variety for everyone. My wife's on a little bit of a work milestone tonight, so went out for dinner. So had a couple Moscow Mules with a splash of cran at dinner. Came home, we split a bottle of red wine. I did pour myself a Bullet, but the new house favorite, which I'm going to next, and you can put one in the swear jar for that too. This is phenomenal.
No. That's
cock, scientific.
Yeah, chicken cock is a great bourbon.
Yes,
it's amazing.
Phenomenal. Absolutely.
If anybody knows, it's gonna be bourbon whiskey Dave.
Yeah. I love it. So let me ask you this, Sean. What's your unicorn bourbon? Everybody's got that one bourbon that when they find it, they found their holy grail. What is yours?
I mean, it's such a loaded question. I mean, it depends upon what you want. So my wife and I, our house bourbon's Bullet bourbon. If we're making a old fashioned, whatever, Manhattan, it's Wood Bullet. We occasionally have a bottle of Basil Hayden kicking over there.
Nice.
We both love the chicken cock. If you want to throw another one on the swear jar, but it's just it depends upon, I guess, the situation. I luckily was able to get a really old glass of Mickers at a steakhouse for free because the distributor sent too many bottles, and they literally you won the lottery. If you didn't ask for this, you wouldn't have known you were going to get this for nothing, but you did. And so again, it's one of those situation things. I don't think I can have a favorite. I'm going to go with Bullet just because it's my wife and I's house bourbon that you can do whatever with it, and it's a good bourbon. Yeah,
Bullet's great. I'll be honest. I'm a Disney guy. You've listened to a couple of podcasts. You know how big a Disney guy I am. So my unicorn bottle was the Disney pick Knob Creek, and just randomly happened to be at Disney when it was during COVID. They had the NBA lockdown, and LeBron James ordered too much of the bourbon that he could drink. And so Disney had an overflow and was selling it for $35 a bottle. I bought 3 of those suckers, 2 to drink, 1 to keep on the shelf.
Perfect.
So,
I mean, you can't go wrong with that stuff.
You can't. And I mean, it's just a $35 bottle of bourbon, but the story of the hunt that, hey, this is that Disney pick bottle. You can't buy it anywhere else. Disney won't sell it to you now. It's just the story that I have this bottle on my shelf.
And that's what it's all about. Absolutely. And, it's unfortunately, you can get caught up in the price tag, and the price point means how good it is and stuff like that. But I look back to one of the favorite bottles of red wine I ever had was a $9 bottle with my wife, and it was one of the first bottles we ever had. And still now, $10 is a story, and it's still a good wine. So, I think it's really the story and the moment that sort of makes the bourbon the good one. Not to sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I believe that though.
Yeah, most bourbon drinkers are like, oh, I gotta have that Pappy 25 or Pappy 15. Dude, Pappy tastes like garbage.
Nope.
That is the one bottle. If you tell me that your unicorn bottle is Pappy, you just got into bourbon.
You're going off name. You're just going off the name. You're not going off anything else.
So I'll tell you my favorite bottle of bourbon that I bought. I've never even tried, and it was a Father's Day gift from my old man. I got him a bottle of Booker's. I've never tried it. It's a local small batch. It was like $100 for the bottle in a wood crate, and I was like, "Oh yeah, man, enjoy the hell out of this, but don't put anything in it. Just drink it." But but again, like that type of stuff. It's just I'm not a bourbon hardo where I'd say that, but I do love it. But I do appreciate a good bourbon.
Yeah, there are some bourbons that if you take it and mix it with Coke, or I cringe a little bit.
Yeah,
but I get it. To each his own. Do your own thing. Drink it how you want to drink it.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're gonna put Weller with Coke, I might cringe a little bit. So
yeah.
Sean, just to let you know, Annie Beth is watching.
Hi, AB. Good to see you. But no, I also appreciate a Jack and Coke or Jack and Ginger and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's like a wedding staple. So
Yeah.
you know,
I've gotten to where like this is how bougie I've gotten lately with my bourbon drinking. Jack and Coke, like regular old number 7 Black Label Jack, I don't mix with that anymore. I now have mixed with Gentleman. So I like
bougie is right.
I could taste the difference between old number 7 and Coke or Gentleman and Coke. So
yep.
It's just what you like drinking. So
absolutely.
Jack is
all
king. Right. Like, come on now.
All right, Matt. I've stolen your friend talking.
No. This is the.
This is a great way to break
this. This is exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So another part of why I wanted to bring Sean on is because Sean, for the let's call it like last almost year now, a little over 13, 14 months, he's been trying to start your own podcast.
Okay.
Yes. So I can go on about that. So my wife and I are in a situation where we both have like pretty good jobs. We don't have kids for many variety of reasons. So we're dinks, dual income, no kids.
Yeah.
We're both from Boston. We can talk anyone's ear off. So we thought, why not start the podcast? God bless my wife. She was listening to 2 Instagram influencers that said, like, you should do this. So she said, do it. I bought all the shit. Throw it on. I bought all the podcast shit. Throw another one. I just repeated it. 4 mics, boom stands, recorder, all this stuff. I had stickers made. All our friends were on board. We had all the social media pages. And then after like 4 hours of content was recorded, she goes, people have to fucking listen to this. Throw it up again. That's not just. And so we face the reality that like, so we have to do this, and then someone's going to listen. I was all for it. She was all for it. So unfortunately, Dinks the podcast. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're still all there, and there's all the stuff there. But unfortunately, it sort of fizzled out. Fortunately, we're in the middle of a basement renovation. We're actually creating like a perfect studio spot. So awesome. Hopefully that's going to reinvigorate us, or we might get back to it. But so again, I taught myself, not to cut you off, I taught myself audio mixing on Audacity. I taught all this stuff. I was cutting, editing. I was trying to do it the right way. Background music, trying to get licensing for intro music from some guy from the 70s, which was next to impossible via Instagram and his assistant. But then it just stopped. But so I'm glad you guys had me on tonight. Yeah, and by the way, in the middle of all this, while we're trying to do this, the bank my wife worked for failed. So we're trying to go Silicon Valley Bank. Good for you. No shout outs, but that failed. And so that all sort of played into the sort of demise of it. But I appreciate you guys having me on tonight and giving me an opportunity to try this out.
So let me give you some a big pointer. I've had a podcast for going on 5 years now, over 5 years now. We took some time off and we're back together, called Unrelated at Birth. It's my baby podcast, the one that it's me and my best friend. We started. It's basically just our text conversation. We have anywhere from an episode will get 200 downloads, and then the next one will get 25 downloads. I mean, you have to do it to really love what you're doing. And, I don't care if we have 5 people listening. That's still 5 people that want to hear what me and Adam have to say, or that right now there's 15 people watching us here on Around the Fire Pit. That's 15 people that want to hear what the 4 of us have to say. Not Ryan, because he's muted. But
well, Dave, to add on to that, it's like obviously we're going to use this term a lot over tonight and future. Don't get too hung up on return on investment. Like that's what you can't do. It's like if it's going to be you and Sarah, pretty much what it needs to come down to is your conversation that you have on the couch.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what I'm preaching.
It's the stuff that you talk about while you're watching the Celtics game or drinking a bottle of wine or doing other stuff. And
so actually, not to cut you off, Matt, but our longest recording session was about an hour long. And that's what we did. We were sitting there. We had a game on mute. We set up the recorder in the living room. We had a bottle of wine, and we just let Friday night happen. And it was probably some of the best, but it's also some of the most in-depth, real content you can put out there. And I think that's the thing that, you got to be a little vulnerable and let people hear that. But I think that was part of the thing we liked is we have a pretty good story. You know, we're not boring people. The Things podcasting originally started. I wanted to write a book, and each one of us had to write a chapter, and each had to write the same chapter based on how we looked at it. And
that's cool.
And thank you, I appreciate that. And I thought it was a cool
really
concept
cool.
because we both even early ages, like we both have completely different stories growing up. She had her stuff. I had my sister being sick, and sort of just growing up on my own based on dealing with that. But talking about that from both sides, and I feel like, you know, people my age and stuff, you can relate to that. And there's stories that you might not. Oh, hey, you know, that happened to me and stuff like that. So it evolved into the podcast because she wanted to do a screenwrite, and I'm not a fucking actor. So Yep. So she's going, yes, she wants me to spend the money tonight. So you know, but anyways, back to what we were talking about. I mean, let's sort of go off on a tangent there.
Yeah, it's the return of investment, Sean. And like we talked about this last year, and as you were trying to get set up for it, you got to go with the philosophy that you've always had. Give zero fucks about what other people think. Right? Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Dave, put that one down. You can even put that one down for a 10 because it was a heavy one. And go from there. It's like these 16 people. Ani Beth's asking how your sister is. Sean, you want to give a quick?
She's getting married Memorial Day weekend. So
that's awesome.
She's
fantastic.
It's so weird that she's an adult now too.
Matt, she's going to be 40 in 3 years. So I literally had this conversation. I literally was talking to my parents. I was like, Meg, did you know Megan's almost 40? And they were like, yeah, no, she's our daughter. Obviously, I'm like, well, you know, like, well, I don't.
It's my sister,
you know. But
things just go by so fast. You mean, Sean, when I met you when you were like 18, right?
I was 18.
18, I was 22.
17. I was 17.
Yeah, you weren't even 18 yet because it was the fall of your senior year of high school.
Yep. But anyways, again, I get tangents, but back to the podcast. It's about the natural conversation and stuff like that. So I'm sort of
the best kind of podcast.
I don't like to BS. I'm just sort of, I am unfortunately unfiltered in who I am, and so I'll tell it how it is, and I'm open to talking to whoever. So once again, appreciate you fellas having me on tonight.
All right.
What's your
Ryan, go at it.
Oh, I was gonna say, all right. What is your hot take? Like, what is the one thing that you believe in that you're like, oh man, I will die on this hill?
Can it be like completely cheesy and cliche and stuff like that? But like,
of course it can.
Two men shouldn't be drinking a shot out of the same glass.
Throw 20 on what I'm going to say, because I honestly mean it, and one fucking day at a time. One. You can't do anything. You will paralyze yourself if you start thinking too far out ahead. You can stop worrying about things that may or may not ever happen, and it's like, why? You know, all you really can do is just worry about what you got cooking today. So it is cliche. It is old. I used to, when I was younger, it's one of those things I found out when I got older. Like I used to worry about way too much shit that was far down the line. And it's like, why? You know, so don't get caught up in all the crap. It's not worth worrying about stuff. It's just literally worry about what you got cooking. You will get hit by a bus tomorrow. So it is not worrying about getting out ahead of stuff. It's just try to stick to what you got cooking today. Enjoy what you got going on. You know, so it's yeah, I'm a firm believer in that. One day at a time.
Dude, that's the podcast. That we can't beat that. That's it.
And I was worried about following up on a guy that just fucking quit. You know, so it's just you know, again, sorry, but no, I appreciate you asking me that, because it's I have a kid that's a young 23-year-old kid that's my mentor at the fire department. Go figure, I'm almost 40, but it's one thing I try to explain to him, like, hey man, you got so much life to live and stuff, and you're worried about things that are not worth worrying about. Like, live. You're 23. It's just you're going to go through ups and downs, and it's just everything comes back to the middle. You can have the highest and highs, the lowest the lows, but you're always going to be back here. So just worry about what's happening right here. You know, so it's just you know, again, cliche, dorky, whatever you want, but it works.
That's not cliche. That's actually dude. That's something that I have to tell myself daily, because just one of my biggest flaws is I am a worrier. I like my life likes to be planned out. In fact, that's one reason I'm a travel agent on the side. Just because I'm super type A, everything has to be planned. And when it's not planned, holy hell, it falls apart. And if you live your life like that, then you're going to get gray earlier. You're going to, life sucks and then you die. But if you live with the mentality, I hate to use the YOLO, but if you live with the YOLO mentality, what can hurt you?
Dave, it's the absolute truth. And so travel stuff, I know you guys are travel stuff. So me and my wife, again, we're dinks. We're in a different situation. We can go on vacations. We can spend a little more on what we want. We will spend money to make sure that if there's a rain day, we have the best accommodations, whether it's an Airbnb, a resort, because why? If it's a rain day, let's make the best of it. So we've booked little places on Airbnb in Georgetown, New York, with indoor pools and 5-star resorts with your own private. It's just make the best of what you're doing. Get your most bang for your buck, and also plan for I appreciate you, Dave. You want to go and do all that stuff. I go on vacation based on what I do. I don't want to do a fucking thing. I want to sit. I just want to sit, and then, hey, Sarah, do you want to go to the little deli down the street and grab a sandwich, and then maybe we'll come back and take a nap? And guess what? We might not do anything productive and touristy or Travis, but guess what? I feel phenomenal. It's what I do in my real job, and it's stressful, and so I don't want to put extra pressure on myself to be somewhere or get here or we got this reservation. It's just I'd rather go get the finest cold cuts and meats and grill at a house when I'm overlooking a mountain or something like that, and take a deep breath and enjoy the time I have. I can't go from what I do from work to trying to work to enjoy vacation. It's just let it happen. And so again, I wish one day at a time.
Yeah, I wish I could be that way, Sean. I do. But when
I get it though.
Yeah, when I sit on a beach, my mind races to, oh my God, I could be doing this. I could this. And
that's me.
Yeah,
I don't like beaches. I'm a pale skinned Irish Catholic kid from Boston. I don't do well.
There he is.
I do not. I lied to my wife when we met, said I love the beach. Fucking hates me because I don't. But again, I will spend $5,000, $1,000 a night or something like that to have a nice private pool with a nice umbrella I can sit at that I know I always have. So she gets to buy a pool, So it's just there's trade-offs and stuff. But again, I'm glad. So,
gotta throw this out there. Michelle, one of our. Am I the only one who pictured the commercial? Going to get some cold cuts today.
Where's the beef?
He probably. I want some gabagool. He probably goes.
There goes half his drink. So with that, I want to
story.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to tell a quick story about gabagool. Nikki and I have a deli by us that we frequent, and she was like, I really like this meat, but I don't know how to order it. So I was like, just say that you want the gabagool on it. And so she walks up to the counter and asks for the gabagool, and the guy looks at her like she has 3 heads, and she's never let me live it down.
That's awesome.
So real quick, Dave, Matt, before you, baseball related, who's on the back of your Braves jersey?
Oh, Acuna.
Okay.
So
no, I'll go on a quick Braves tangent.
Go for it.
The Red Sox.
It's all about you.
No, it is. The Red Sox fucking sucked when I grew up. And this is just me being from Boston. I'm going to talk like I'm Boston. I'm going to rack up the dollar signs right now. Just have the pen ready.
You're at 14 right now.
Yeah, I'm talking Mike Greenwell back in the day, Tim Nearing, Jody Reed. They sucked back in the day. The Braves were on TBS all the time. I watched Terry Pellepin. I watched Avery. I watched Glavine. Bill Ricka, if anyone's watching, he grew up in Bill Ricka, Mass. I watched all those guys. I loved the Braves. I was in Cooperstown in it was 95. No, the year that the Braves won the World Series. Mando, I was with Melanson, 95 against Cleveland. Yeah. I was with Melanson at the Baseball Hall of Fame.
That's a friend of ours, by the way.
Yeah, I was 11. We were with our dads, and I watched the Braves win the World Series up there, and I was ecstatic. I remember Sid Bream. I watched the game. Sid Bream slid across home plate against the Pirates. So I appreciate the Braves. I've always loved the Braves.
Awesome.
I'm glad Lester got to play at the Braves. And then when I looked at colleges, I went to Clemson and saw a Braves game at Turner Field. It was the first game that Dunn played for Cincinnati. And I forget who it was, but he threw someone out from right field at home plate, Adam Dunn. And I
Dude,
was
Adam Dunn had a cannon.
He also had a shit ton of strikeouts.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was
did.
baffled. Quick aside before we get back to the topic, I was with my dad. We were at there for batting practice. A home run ball during BP hit a bunch of stuff and rolled to me. And a Braves fan who was about 9 years old was about 20 feet away from me and didn't get the ball. And his mom started calling me a dirty dog. And I didn't know what to do because I was down in the South and I was a Boston kid. So I flipped him that ball. But I'm not going to lie, I was fucking pissed. I wanted that ball. Too. I didn't get balls in the stands until after that, but I was so mad. But anyways, I appreciate the Braves. I've always had a soft spot in my heart for the Braves. So kudos to the Braves.
Dude, I love it. I love it. By the way, this is Thacker, Dave Thacker. Acuna Matata is my fantasy baseball team name, and he probably doesn't even know that. But
that's excellent.
That's my fantasy team name. I've grown up a Braves fan. I was always I remember I was born in 81, so the Braves sucked in the 80s. I've got pictures of me wearing the old baby blue Braves hat growing up, and I lived. Granted, I was a teenager, preteen teenager through the great 90s, early 2000s, but I can remember when we sucked. I can remember the year before Sid Bream slid. We were last place, dude. I was in 6th grade when Cabrera and Sid Bream, that whole thing. I had gone to bed thinking, all right, the Pirates have won this. My parents woke me up with Sid Bream on second and said, hey, you got to come down and watch this. I can remember the moment it happened like it happened yesterday. And then I remember Charlie fucking Lee Brandt throwing that damn pitch to Kirby Puckett and losing us the World Series that year.
I'm glad I turned this into a baseball podcast. I'll also say if I had to name my all-time Braves outfield, it would be Ron Gant, Dave Justice, and Andrew Jones. Those are my top 3. And I have a hard time. Yeah, I loved Ron Gant. And so I remember old school like video games and stuff. I loved Ron Gant. It's just again, a Boston kid who liked the Braves. It was just like that era. I could also go to Mark Lemke, Mark Blauser. I could go around. I loved all of them back then. So, man, look at Mandis. Man's like, holy shit, Bonzo actually knows baseball.
And the thing about it is we've coached together.
Yes. I'm one of those sneaky guys. I know a lot. I play dumb sometimes, but it's this big Boston brain. I got a lot up there.
Dude, that Braves infield that year was Sid Bream, Mark Lemke, Rafael Belliard, Jeff Blauser,
was Ron Gant first?
Crime Dog did come into the 94 season.
Okay.
And then I believe Ron Gant played third base in 91 because he played third base before they got Terry Pendleton and they moved Gant out to the outfield. The catcher was Greg Olson. That outfield.
He broke his leg. No, didn't he break his leg? And it was Damon Berryhill, wasn't it?
No, Berryhill. So no, when the Braves won that divisional series. Yeah, when the Braves won that divisional series, there's a picture of Greg Olson jumping in John Smoltz' arms. Yeah, it was Greg Olson. The outfield, I don't know if it was Justice. I know that, but I don't know if I can name the rest of the outfield.
Wasn't Grissom in center?
No, that was 95.
That was after.
Yeah, that was 95. This is going to bug me.
Otis?
Coke Man? Otis. Yeah, Coke Man.
Man, Otis.
Otis Nixon.
And then you guys eventually had Michael Tucker too.
Yeah, but that was 97. Here you go. Here's a trivia question for you. Who is the first person to hit a home run in Turner Field?
Ted Williams.
No, please.
Well, Turner's the new one. It's the middle one at this point.
It was Michael Tucker. It was Michael Tucker.
All right.
Yeah.
So quick aside, Michael Tucker eventually signed with the Red Sox at the end of his career, played a stint in Pawtucket. I sat second row behind the dugout with some friends, and Michael Tucker was fucking eyeing my wife. And it was getting annoying. She's laughing. She knows exactly what
I want to know. I remember this. I remember this story.
She's laughing. I wanted to murder Michael Tucker. Like, I was young, like, hey, my wife, I mean, a decent looking wife, but I was like, who are you to look at my wife that way, sir?
Because those dugouts were set up so weird.
He was coming right back at me.
So I'm mad at ourselves, Sean.
Yeah.
Center field for the Braves in 91, Neon Dion.
Oh,
How did we forget that? That's how the tomahawk chop started.
I mean, so as a Boston guy, I am kind of disappointed. I didn't know that because I feel as an Atlanta guy, you should be impressed when I just rattled off there.
I was. I am. Anyway, all right. Matt,
back to what you had me here for, which I don't even know what it was at this point.
At this point,
First
it doesn't
off-
really matter.
First off,
It's
Peyton,
this.
your
Is that
Chiefs
Peyton?
got lucky. That is Peyton.
Oh, Peyton,
And
go to
wait.
bed.
Why does Peyton have a Diggs picture who plays for the Cowboys, who is a former Alabama player?
Is that even Peyton?
I think it is.
Yeah, it's got to be, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Matt,
I don't
We
even
need to
remember.
hear-
I don't even remember why we're here now.
we need to hear some old Matt Manders stories.
Oh, shoot. I just wanted to hit this
I'll
one
let-
first
I'll
because
let
obviously
him
this is
team
a
up.
part.
I'll knock
watch,
him out.
watch your mouth. One of the things I wanted to kind of start with Sean here, and he kind of segued into it a little bit, is Sean turns 40 this year. Yay, a couple weeks, right? You're great.
April 16th, I'll be
Yep.
40.
I remember his 30th when he blew out his knee at baseball practice. It was fantastic.
Oh, it was excellent.
It was my first year coaching high school baseball. We challenged the 3 coaches challenged the whole 15-man roster, and Sean blew out his knee at second base in the football game.
Just quick funny story. I watched a sex toy store burn down on my way to that practice that was down the street from my house. I will never forget that. I actually watched the guy who lit it run down the street and get tackled in front of Dunkin' Donuts with his arm on fire. That was on the way to that practice. I blew out my knee.
Holy crap. That is the most Boston sentence I think I've ever heard. I
Yeah.
saw a guy set a fire to the sex store and buy the Dunkin' Donuts. And
The
That's
Dunkin'
not
Donuts, though, is the part that
was
kills
when
me.
you were on,
It's
living
say,
on
as a guy
West
from Boston,
Augusta, right?
I fucking hate Dunkin' Donuts. It's fucking crap. But yeah, just
Yeah, because those
yeah,
pre-Saturday
it's-
practices, you bring me a revved up Ricky from
Yep.
Everyday Cafe.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
Those are the good days.
But sorry, again, I'm hogging Matt back to whatever you were talking
Yeah,
about.
it's
me
not about
being
you.
old.
So turning 40, obviously, if people were paying attention, which not many people do with our shows, they rewatch them. Construction background, real construction background. 38, 39, you decide to make a little bit of a detour in the road. Tell us about it.
So I will. So again, I'm from Boston. I grew up. My old man, fortunately, I watched him. He was a firefighter in Somerville, Mass, for like 10 years. I'll say the 80s. And so growing up, seeing him hanging around the firehouse, what you always want to do. But unfortunately, I am an Irish Catholic kid who has nothing else going for me. Just an Irish Catholic guy. So when it comes to civil service in Massachusetts, trying to get a firefighter's gig, it's tough. It's high demand and stuff like that. So it was never something I thought I could realistically pursue. So I got into construction. I've been fortunate enough to have a pretty damn good career and done some cool things in that. But I moved to New Hampshire, and I'm in a small town. I grew up in a town of 50,000, and now I'm in a town of 6,400. I thought it was a volunteer fire department. So last May, I was actually talking to Sarah about this earlier. It was probably around her birthday. And I was thinking, I have an opportunity. Like, let's just go sign up. So I didn't know what I was getting into, realistically. I thought this was one of those, hey, you got 3 hours a month. You could come, hang out, help, listen to the scanner, whatever. No, I signed up and ended up becoming a call fireman. So I still do what I do, and I'm passionate about construction, but I have an opportunity at almost 40 years old to pursue like my childhood dream. So I signed up for the fire department. I signed up for the fire department in my town. At 39, almost 40, I'm one of the old guys. There's kids that are 23 years old that are certified firefighters and stuff like that have run into buildings and have done this stuff. I mean, my mentor, this kid Brian, he's 23 years old. So yeah, I have a part-time job now where I'm a fireman, and it's been different and it's been fucking awesome. And
That's a freebie.
Throw 25. No, throw 25 on it because I emphasize the F in that one. And it just I've it's, you always want to help people, and it's I got over my. I'm not gonna lie, I got over my skis. I love my town, my little town, but their public department and hiring is horrible. So I signed up in June. I didn't officially get hired until November, but because I wanted to do this, I ended up in an EMT school. signing up for the fire academy. I mean, I work at like a full-time construction executive job where I work 50, 60 hours a week. And I was just like, oh, okay, let's become an EMT too. And the fire academy in the fire academy 2 nights a week from 6 to 10 and Saturdays for 6 months in Concord for down the road. But fortunately, I was able to talk to a deputy chief and find a spot that kind of like worked for me. But I get to do what I always wanted to do now, and I'm glad to be able to do it. Just for a side, I started EMT school, I finished it, but I don't want to be an EMT. And I even told my department, like, in November when I was injecting epinephrine into lemons, I decided I just want to stick to the fire department stuff. So
not your thing.
No, but I'm on a crew. I work Tuesday nights. I'm on call from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. One weekend a month from 6 p.m. Friday to 6 a.m. Monday. I get an awesome lieutenant who's a year older than me, so I at least have one person that's old. I got a couple 23-year-olds and a 35-year-old, 2 girls on my crew that are fucking awesome. I'll emphasize that there's a girl, Gabby, on my crew. I've never seen someone break down a door like her, and she's 23 years old. So so I get a chance to like do some stuff. So it's I've never, it's been weird. I'll admit I quit for 3 days. I gave my pager back. I said, like, how am I supposed to do this? I have a real job. Like, I wanted to be a volunteer, and now I'm putting in, 40 hours a month or something like that, whatever it is. But it's awesome, and I'm proud to do it for my town. And like I said, I do a bunch of social stuff. I hang out with everyone in my crew, and happy to serve the town of Ringe. And so again, get to live out a lifelong dream at 40. I'm realistic about it. Literally had blood work today because of all this. My wife made me get another life insurance policy. She fucking fire, you gotta protect me. So but no, and so it's awesome. I was fortunate enough, again, like dorky moments. My folks came up, was it last weekend, 2 weekends ago? I got to bring my dad to my firehouse and show him my firehouse.
That's
like,
cool.
It's if you asked me 10 years ago, I never thought I would. I was coaching baseball with Matt and not being a fireman. So, it was awesome. And again, it was just, Boston guy. He's just, all he did was go take a big inhale. He's like, oh yeah, the smell, it was great. So yeah, but yeah, no. So it's I'm happy and privileged to sort of live out my lifelong dream at 40 years old.
So let me ask you this, and this is going to show how uneducated I am about the fire department and all that stuff. Cheesy movie, I know, but I watched. I love the movie Frequency.
Okay.
And it's about this kid who grew up with his dad as a fire chief, and how much of that is a real life? You growing up in and around the firehouse. How much of that is you basically are family with the crew that you have?
Oh, so I mean, Jesus, I couldn't agree with it more. Like it's and it's one of those, again, like my dad was in this position. The portion of the Somerville Fire Department he was with was the auxiliary. But in the 80s, the auxiliary department wasn't like, hey, you're just, you're doing whatever parades and stuff. Like he got to go into buildings. He fell through a floor in a building.
Oh, wow.
I was young. I don't get to remember like how his guys went, but for 8 months, I've been in since June. Like these 5 are like my family. You feel an obligation to them. Like my mentor, Brian, he's mentored me in the fire department. Like I'm trying to mentor him through like life. Like I literally jokingly, and there'll be a swear involved in this, but I joke with them because I'm almost 40 and they're 23, do the math, 16, 17 year difference. I'm like, hey, if I fucked off in high school, I could be your dad, like that's like the reality to it, and it's just, so it's just, they haven't lived life yet. And you try to just sort of give them pointers as far as, life experiences you've had, but I rely on them to tell me fire department stuff. So it's just it's funny how some things work out, especially in like this situation. And I'm damn proud that I got 2 women on my group, and they're badass women. I got a great lieutenant. And again, my mentor is the 5th one on the group, who's 23 years old and just took a full-time job in Wyndham. So these kids are great, and I'm happy to know it. And I'm proud to. I'm at almost 4 again. I'm almost 40. I'm in an executive sort of level position in construction. I'm damn proud to be at the bottom where I am right now. I'm a probationary fireman. I'm at the bottom. I'll grab a broom and sweep the floor and the apparatuses out and stuff like that, and let the 23-year-old watch me, because I got to earn my stripes. So it's I'm trying to be real about it and also enjoy that part of it. It's just not everyone gets to go through that. And I'm also fortunate enough that, last weekend we were on duty. That Saturday, my wife's best friend lives close. She got to bring her kids over to the firehouse, throw them on a fire truck.
But Nikki
like
came
that.
by,
So,
right?
it's great to be able to do that stuff. So it's, it's had many different, no political thing, all that other stuff. Nikki Haley was randomly at the college in our town. I was on duty that weekend and we got detailed to the event. I got to stand right next to the stage for a political rally. When the hell are you going to do that stuff? I'm not a political person. I was just, this is kind of cool, so it's, it's opened up some experiences and stuff like that. So it's been kind of awesome.
That's awesome. All right, so I have to, Matt. I know you probably had some other questions, but
no, go. You want the Matt stories? I know you want Matt stories.
I do, but I've got one more thing. I want to get on the fire department thing real quick. Give me your best fire story that you have had I don't want to say pleasure because it's not a pleasure fighting a fire, I'm sure, but give me the hardest fire that you have had to be on call for.
So I can, I will say honestly, I've never been to a structure fire. I've been on 8 months. We're in a small town. The way the crews rotate, I mean, I don't know if there's been a structure fire in our town since I've been on. Again, we're That's a small town. It's great. I mean, it's fortunate. You don't want anyone to have fires. I think statistically, our town averages 9 to 10 fires a year.
Oh, wow.
But I can tell you an experience I've had because it goes beyond just like the fire and stuff like that. It was a few weeks ago, and we had a call to an accident. I've been to a few accident calls. But when I arrived, the car was literally, it's one of these stories that the outcome, I hope the kid who was involved realized how fortunate he was. I arrived to this call and the car was cut in half. I had to get the jaws of life out of the back of the rescue when we approached the car. Where the front of the car used to be, I could see his feet, like where the pedals used to be. He wasn't injured. His hands had cuts on them. The door was crunched. His seat broke. He was a 17-year-old kid, but girl in my group, Gabby, shout out to Gabby. She was instructed and I helped her to cut the kid out of the car with the jaws of life and stuff like that. But wow. That was one of those ones. The kid was going really fast in a slow area. He was very fortunate. I mean, it's when you hear when in the fire industry, you hear a single car accident, car off the road, no injuries, but patient trapped. It's one of those that doesn't make sense. That's an anomaly. And then when you're in the back of the truck and the lieutenant calls off, he's a half mile, quarter mile in front of you, well, we have a car split in half, no injury. None of this makes sense. So I will say that it was an 08 Honda Accord, 2-door. The kid wore his seatbelts, airbags, and the seatbelt saved his life. So that small 2-door coupe was taken away on 3 flatbed trucks. The front of his car was about 100 feet away from where he ended up. The car was split in two, and then Gabby picked up the muffler 50 feet away from where the car was. We found a cell phone 50 feet away. There was pieces of molding from the car. I mean, the kid's lucky to be alive. He shouldn't have been alive. Crap. So again, that's one of those that it could have been so much worse. But again, I've only been on 8 months. I mean, I've heard stories from people I've worked with that are horrible. We had a fatal accident in town. I was fortunate I wasn't on duty that night. But for me, that was the most jarring thing I've seen. I mean, I've seen other stuff, medical calls. We have a college in town, so we respond all the time for fire alarms. College kids that can't cook. They don't put the fan on when they take the shower and stuff like that. But in the way it works with one night a week, I mean, I could go this past weekend. I was on Friday 6 p.m. to Monday 6 a.m. My crew had a call 7 a.m. on Saturday. I didn't have to go because I only respond to fire and nothing else. And then just a fire alarm on Sunday night. So we don't get a ton, but you have to be prepared. So, but for me, as far as jarring things and approaching a scene was like, holy crap. I'd have to say that was it.
Do you know what caused the wreck? Can you say what caused the wreck?
Yep, speeding. And he was fortunate enough that he said, again, he said what had happened in front of someone, in front of the cop and stuff like that. I was speeding. I believe, and I won't quote it. And I'm just, again, I think I'll just say he was speeding excessively, hit some ice because we live in a snowy area, and spun around, hit a tree, pried the car in half, and lucky to be alive.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to segue from that to Matt stories, but give us.
I'll let Sean pick and choose the stories.
I was going to say, give me your best PG-13 Matt story right now.
So, can I start this with a question though to both of you guys, Dave and Ryan?
Okay.
How well do you know Matt? Like, do you know Matt the guy? Like Matt the person? Like wholeheartedly? Like I know you know him and stuff. Like I can sort of just tell you me and Matt. Like it's I don't know if picking stories is something, but maybe he sheds a little light on who this guy really is.
Yeah. I would say that I'm pretty good friends with Matt, but I wouldn't say that I know Matt.
They don't know me, Sean.
All right. Yeah. All right.
I know adult Matt.
All right.
There you go. That's that. Okay. We know adult Matt.
Yeah.
Are you giving me the baseball coach here where I came out to the mound story first?
So no, I think I'll just start wholeheartedly how I met Matt, and I think I can sort of give a little timeline, and there'll be some laughs involved in it. So wholeheartedly, I grew up and I was fortunate enough to be really good at baseball. I didn't play high school football my senior year. I decided to play fall ball. 17 years old. This 22-year-old fuckface, pardon my language, because I'm going to be Boston from now. So
I was working full time there
with his red and white Ford Ranger with fucking rust all over it and stuff like that. Just get the pen right. This Dingleberry is now my coach. So I'm like, all right, but I think Matt liked me because I'm a humble guy. I was decent at baseball and I was a catcher, which was what Matt did. So within a short period of time, Matt is quasi big brother. So now fast forward to I'm a fucking high school kid. I need money. Hey, you want to work at the baseball club? I would be able to catch private pitching lessons and stuff like that, make some cash. And then this guy's like, hey, you want to start going on the books? You want to work Sundays? Yeah, let's go. So again, we're becoming pretty tight. Again, Matt, you were born in what year? And
79.
So you were 5 years older than me.
Yeah.
So this is the quintessential big brother Boston guy, catcher, this fucking great baseball guy. So as Sundays would come along, I would work 10 to 5 on Sundays, time and a half, but we'd get there and Mando, and he'd give me a $20 bill. He'd be like, hey, go to fucking Burger King, get as much Burger King breakfast as you can, and bring it back. And so we'd eat the Burger King. So Mando had a hobby on Saturday nights. I'm not gonna go too far, but Mando would go out on Saturday nights, stuff I couldn't do because I was only 17 years old and shit like that. But anyways, they offered stuff where they're like, hey, this is a big building. We'll take a videotape and you can pay your money and get just like when you go to Disney World, you go to Splash Mountain, and go, oh, you get your picture. Matt would have video evidence of Saturday night. Me being a very curious 17-year-old, it's let's go in this back room, let's watch the video, and let's eat some breakfast.
Can we start with the first thing that I was fully clothed. Yeah,
Matt, I didn't say anything about anything.
I was gonna say
on shit, man. I'm trying to keep this just as
PG-13.
Exactly. So anyway, so this would be Saturday mornings. One of us could be just laying on the desk. I was in high school. I was senior. I could be hungover. Amanda's in his journeys on Saturday night. He might not be feeling that great, but so we'd have an awesome Saturday talking. The people coming in, we'd run birthday parties. No one should have trusted the two of us to any establishment. Shout out Frank Nile. Frank, you were a great guy, but these two knuckleheads. Matt would be curled. Matt had kidney issues. He'd be curled up on the stairs. And I'd be like, "You okay?" He's like, "I'm fucking dying." I'd be like, "Well, I'll bring out this guy in this baseball glove. You need some cranberry juice? What's going on?" It is what it's. I love you. I met a girl once because she grabbed a cup instead of some batting gloves. It's just things happen at this baseball club. And so now I'd be getting fat, making some, $7.50 an hour. And Matt would be like, "You want to get some lunch?" I'd be like, "Yeah." So he's like, "All right, let's get the family meal deal." There's two of us. Matt, what are we? We're less than 12 feet tall combined and less than 500 pounds. We ate for 7 people. It was just, so this is Matt though, but there's literally no one more genuine and wholehearted than this kid. He got me into coaching AAU. Has anyone been to Kingsport, Tennessee? I fucking have. I wouldn't have. I saw Bad Company at this Podunk airport unloading their stuff with a bunch of kids. That was just what the fuck are we?
Shoot, I forgot about that.
A Red Roof Inn. across from a super Walmart. I think I watched minors get sexual things done to them behind a dumpster. It was the craziest trip I've ever been on in my entire Kingsport, Tennessee. We had a wealthy parent on our team who got a limo, took us out one night to an Italian Giuseppe's. Matt, was that the Italian?
Yeah, that sounds right.
So no one questioned us. I mean, this guy ordered like a $300 bottle of wine and had 18-year-old Sean McLaughlin give it the old, oh yeah. I was like, I'm 18 and I can drink.
They wanted you to smell the cork.
What was that?
They wanted you to smell the cork.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, it smells like I'm gonna get drunk tonight because I'm underage.
It smells like grapes.
Yeah, no, so it was so I mean that's one particular trip. Less than a year later, and this is shout out AB, if you're listening and stuff like that. God bless you.
She knew stories were coming, so she is signed off.
So again, you guys might know Matt's aunt Beth.
Yeah, they both know Auntie Beth.
So again, college kid working full time during the summer. I was like, man, I can't commit to coaching full time. He's like, get it, all that other stuff. Actually, Parch, 1 second.
You need a refill.
I do. I'll get it in a second. All of a sudden, Matt goes, check your email. And this is like a Monday. I check my email. There's an plane ticket that leaves Logan Airport at 6:00 that night. He's just like, yeah, talk to Auntie Beth. I'm like, Beth, what is this? Well, Matt can't do this without you. I'm like, but I'm like, but what do you mean? She's like, you got to come down here and give him a hand. And so I have to tell my boss, coincidentally, I had the following week off. I'm like, hey, Paul, do you mind if I take the rest of the week off? He's like, well, what about vacation next week? I'm like, no, instant change. Like, we're calling a timeout. We're calling an audible. I'm leaving now. So fly down to Florida. Again, we go to Pleasure Island when it was Massachusetts at the time had changed their driver's license and they inverted them. It confused the hell out of everybody. It was just like, what's this under 21 license? I got a wristband. So all of a sudden, 18-year-old Sean has a drinking wristband for a 21-year-old at Pleasure Island. So I forget where we went, but I was like, we got to. We went
right into the beach club. That was our first spot.
The first thing I did before I bought a cocktail that was served in a sand pail was I grabbed an empty beer bottle off a bar, and I went to the bar and just ordered a beer. I was like, can I get another Bud Light? And looked at my wrist, and they were like, absolutely.
I remember.
So we get to drinking and stuff like that. I actually told this story to my fire department group last weekend that I'm going to get into.
Hold on. Let me preface this real quick, Sean.
Anyways.
Yeah. Peyton, if you are still on, we do not condone underage drinking. Okay, back to you, Sean.
I'm also going to say, under no rush or anything, I love my wife. I got like a 15-minute time.
You're good.
Yep, understand.
But anyways, so there was a place, Mannequins, that was at Pleasure Island. Matt had known it. I had never heard of it. It was just like a club, take an elevator, down.
Yep.
So Matt's like, let's go to this place. We're in line for 20 minutes, but not. I'm 18, not looking around. All of a sudden, we get.
I went to the bar.
Yeah, no, we got all the way down to the bar, not paying attention to anything. So Matt orders the drinks. Now I give it the old like turn around, like I'm going to start looking at like what's going on, and I'm not going to lie, I'm going to dance for 2 seconds. Heavyset Asian man came up to me and giving me one of these. So all of a sudden, like it was like a movie. Everything's slow motion. I'm just looking at the dance floor. There's 2 girls, there's 2 guys, there's 2 guys, there's 2 girls, there's 2 girls, there's 2 guys. It was gay night. Me and Matt didn't know. We didn't pay attention. No one questioned the 2 guys coming down in the elevator together. I'm not homophobic or anything like that. But at 18 years old, I was like, what
we were not very aware of our surroundings.
I don't even know if we grabbed the drinks, but we were out of there.
We were gone, and we went to that other place. That other place where the guy.
Oh, the other guy made us take that shot. And
shot together.
Yeah. Exactly.
I remember that bartender is Jimmy with an eye. He should have been in Mannequins.
But yeah, no. But so this is Matt though, and he was in my wedding. It's he is bluntly honest and sometimes to a fault.
Yeah.
But no. And again, I was happy he asked me to come on tonight and just share a few stories. But he's genuine. If you don't know, he is. Oh, so here's the story. I was good at baseball. I thought I knew baseball. I was a cocky fucking 17-year-old kid. who met this kid, and Matt taught me baseball. And I think that's one thing I don't think a lot of people appreciate about Matt is his knowledge of the game of baseball, the way he can teach baseball, whether you're 10 years old, a fucking douchebag 18-year-old kid or something like that, like myself. But he can talk baseball. He knows baseball. I was privileged to coach with him. He brought me on, and when he got his head coaching high school job in Blue Hills, I get to go help him out there for a couple of years and stuff like that. But no, he's a crazy dude. He's a crazy. I love seeing this, like a Southern dude and Matt and you Brian. I mean, no bullshit. You fucking quit. So I mean, I don't know what to say about you, but it's just but no. He's a good dude, and I'm privileged to have him as a big brother. I don't talk to him and see him nearly enough.
Yeah, that's the tough part for both of us.
It's just people grow up. Like all of you guys. Ryan, I was listening to you earlier. Like life happens. You grow up. You have to. My wife's telling me like, let's fucking. She just got an awesome promotion bonus today, and talking to you guys. She's like, come over here. But it's just but no, life happens. So I'm glad you guys get to spend. I mean, again, Ryan, you fucking quit. So Dave and Matt, you guys get to talk once a week and stuff like that. But no, it's just life happens. So don't doubt yourself, because it does. It's just stuff happens. Yeah. You don't have time for this stuff. I used to love playing softball and doing all this other shit, and you can't do it anymore. It's just I was fortunate enough to find some time where I could do this fire department stuff. But I appreciate you guys have been able to do this and have me on tonight and just babble and do more probably talking than I should have and stuff like that. But
honestly, Sean, that's the best kind of podcast. Is you can have, and this goes back to your hot take earlier. You can have the outline, clad tight, and you get on a topic, and the guest wants to start talking. That's the best kind of podcast. I learned a long time ago in podcasting, we don't make show notes anymore, because the show goes where the show wants to go. And I appreciate the fact that you came on here and just wanted to be. And that's what's even cooler. Hey, so I think Sarah wants Sean's attention. So we're going to let that go. And Sean,
Michelle, where'd you go to college? In Kingsport, Tennessee. I finally looked at these comments. I've missed them all night. Is that Michelle still on there?
Yeah, Michelle's usually on here till the end.
Did you go to Mousie's University? Is that what you went? Bottoms up.
Kemosabi's. Did you go party at Chemo? So we'll save that one. Save that story. Save it. Right,
you guys can have me back on. I'll tell.
Yeah, we will. So apparently, Sean, you knew where you were at your count, because before you went into your talk, you were only at $150. After
legit. Apparently, I hit 250.
You hit 250.
That's just me.
Did he hit it exactly?
Sarah just said I had 22 swish. Sarah said I had 22 swish.
I counted a lot more than that, Sarah.
Well, I'm at 250, and it's going to Give Kids the World. No, the other one.
Give Kids the World.
Yes.
Yeah, Give Kids the World. Michelle went to Milligan College.
All right.
Doesn't help us, but
all right. Quick, Give Kids the World shout out. They had a caboose train that you got all you could eat ice cream sundaes in it, and I was a 11, 12-year-old portly catcher that could not get enough free ice cream sundaes. So again, shout out to that place. All the stuff that they do, I will never forget that. Again, I wasn't the one sick, my sister was, but cheers to them, and I'm happy to donate to them tonight.
Sean, I gotta ask you one thing.
Absolutely, anything
before you head out. I was a catcher and pitcher in high school, and I'm a tall guy, 6'5.5". Now I'm fat, but I'm fat 10. But yeah, do your knees still hurt?
Yeah. So that's one of those things. Again, I tore my meniscus coaching, throwing a wiffle ball. I threw a pitch. My knee caved in. Again, yeah. So again, the surgery was on my 30th birthday.
Surprise party too.
Yeah. The day of the practice, I watched that sex toy building burn down. The guy in his arm that was on fire. I told that story. But So my knees. And again, this is one of these things I appreciate the hell out of. Quick story. My fire department group. The first training and gear I did, we have an outside company comes in. They set up the hallways in the in the firehouse so you can do your training. God bless Gabby Poole, who's in my group. We did hose drills. She's 23. She played field hockey at Liberty University. I mean, I've never seen anyone hit a door like her. She's fucking awesome. I'll throw another. I'll go to 275. She was on the tip of the hose, and when they said go, she pulled me over flat on my face, and I had to scurry on my knees, and for the next hour I had to do this drill repetitively. My knees, I mean, I'm the guy that my knees, I live in New England. When it gets cold, it hurts. It hurts so yes, no, as a catcher, 40. Absolutely. I'm also happy that I've called two no-hitters, one as a high school catcher. I've called one as a coach, Murph. Mando, you know what I'm talking about back in the day. I called my senior high school. God bless Nick Angelini, one of the best pitchers I ever caught, set records at Worcester Polytech. I caught a 17 strikeout no-hitter for him. Bay State League in New England, only high school league that ever played 9 innings. 17 strikeouts, 9 innings. Didn't know why everyone charged the mound when the game was over. He didn't realize he had thrown a no-hitter. So
wow.
God bless pitchers that can just put it out of there and not think about it. And God bless catchers that can call a good game.
My claim to fame is I pitched a no-hitter and still lost the game.
Sean, what was your pitching claim to fame?
No, I'm going to tell you my claim to fame right now, and it's only with Manders, and he'll know that. I think I might be the only person in Massachusetts that's ever thrown an incomplete complete game.
What?
So the year that Matt coached me, again, so Matt was awesome. Matt let me, I caught all my life. When I played for Matt, he let me play shortstop, pitch. I had a good arm. That's what I could do. Right. We were playing in Bridgewater. I will never forget this. Had a great game. I threw 6 innings. He said, John Kincaid's going to come in and throw the 7th. Matt, I actually think, and this is just coincidentally, random things, there was a giant scout at that game. Matt put me at shortstop. Kincaid let up 2 straight walks, and Matt said, fuck it, re-entry rule. Came out, no outs in the 7th. Came out, put me back in on the mound, and then I got the last 3 outs. So I pitched 7 complete innings, but someone else threw the 2 batters in between to get outs and stuff like that. So I threw an incomplete complete game.
But who were the batters charged to, Matt? So would the batters have been charged to Sean?
No, he started the inning. He started the inning.
Yeah. Okay. So Matt was the screw up as a coach.
Yeah. So Matt, Matt also, we played a doubleheader, and Matt said whoever can win the race to center field can pitch the next game of the doubleheader. So again, Matt wanted me to tell the story, and I forgot. This dates us 9/11. 9/11 happened. Yeah. This was my senior year when Matt was coaching me. Pitching, we were playing at Stella Terra Field in Weymouth, Massachusetts. I'm catching. Matt calls timeout randomly. Top of the second inning. He sprints to the fucking mound. Again, throw him out. I'm going to 275. And all of a sudden, what are we doing?
Because it was you and Odie. Odie was out on the mound.
Odie, a kid I went to high school. What are we doing? He just looks at me and goes, we're fucking bombing him. And so that was when the invasion happened in Afghanistan, Iraq. He had saw it on his phone when smartphone first started being a thing. And so I'm all geeked up behind the plate, US, and I'm not even a USA guy, but So that's how that's one of those me and Matt base our relationship on. I'm the catcher that he's the coach. So he doesn't give a shit about the pitching, just we're fucking bombing him, let's go.
I of course we're baseball guys. You've seen Bull Durham, I'm sure, multiple times. Yeah. Matt strikes me as that type of pitching coach. Comes out there, what are we getting him for a wedding present? Candles. They like candles.
So there's an article in a local newspaper where I talked to our pitcher because we won, and they asked, why did you go talk to him? I think we might have been up 11-2 against South Shore Vogue at South Shore Vogue. What did you talk to him about? I'm like, well, actually, we were talking about last night's episode of Law & Order SVU, since we're big Mershka Haggett fans. And he's like, what? I'm like, no, that's really what we were talking about.
Yeah. But it wasn't.
No, straight up. No, that's what we were out there talking about.
Hey, shout out to Griffin, my pit bull in the background, who's joined us. He's awesome.
Heck yeah.
Can I leave you with 2 quick ones? Just two real quick
ones, and then you're out.
They're baseball related. We'll get out of here. Again, coaching Kingsport, Tennessee. Me and Matt would go out at night. They'd flip a coin for the home team at home plate before the game. Again, underage, we'd go out, do our things, $300 bottle of wine for Sean. The third base dugout had a runway. It was minor league complex with an air conditioner. It was where you want to be when you hung over. So you had option of home team or dugout. So we'd win the coin toss and be like, we'll be fucking away. We just want to sit over there. And so we'd pick the AC. And then again, shout out to my wife and Mando here. So I was the pitching coach. I was playing some adult league hardwood and stuff like that. Might have had a few wobbly pops one night and thought I deserved a birthday present for myself. I was coaching with Matt at Blue Hills, you know, the royal blue, the green, the white. So I decided to buy myself a custom Rawlings $500 catcher's mitt. But to justify it, though, I said I'd put my wife's name on it. So I did it. and so when she yelled at me, and I'm not going to, guys, look at it. I mean, this thing is a beauty. I mean, this thing really is just.
That's beautiful. Seriously.
Again, so she was like, what's this fucking deal? Like, Rawlings. So I bought a catcher's mitt, but I put your name on it. So, like, if you want to be mad at me, like, I did put your name. So the kids on the team be like, what's this Sarah crap? So I'm like, hey, listen, I'm older now. So I had to justify making an expense by putting my wife's name on it. So those are my last two stories. Amanda's in the air conditioner and my wife in my kitchen.
There was more to the air conditioner story because we can share that at a later time.
Next time.
So Chrissy's on here joking, saying, can't wait for when y'all talk baseball like you've been teasing. We will talk baseball. In fact, pitchers and catchers have reported. Braves play their first spring training game Saturday, I believe, against Tampa Bay. I'm excited.
Sox play tomorrow.
Sox play tomorrow.
Sox play Northeastern, but they play Northeastern, so it's always a fun game.
So, Sean, we will have you back on to talk actual baseball.
I'll talk whatever, guys.
So, Sean, we appreciate it, man. This has been a fun night. I came in with no expectations, and you blew them out of the water.
Hey, again, I just the guy that just wants to hang out and talk. I don't want to be awkward.
That's
I
all.
It'd be a lot cooler if Brian didn't quit. That's no jazz. You know, I quit the fire department for like 3 days and I went back. So it happens.
Brian, don't worry. Stories will get crazier. We'll talk about Red Sox games where Sean gets dressed up like Johnny Damon. We'll talk about Crazy Kasha. We'll talk about I got more to that than you don't even know now, Sean. She has been found.
I talked far too much tonight. I apologize.
She has been found.
The chicken cock got the best of me.
Your chicken cock, Dave's knob creek. It's like
go have fun. Never mind. Now
police knobby job.
Yeah. We'll talk about that too.
Hey, we're about to sign off here, but Matt, we got to start talking about the Around the Fire Pit podcast cruise. I
gotta duck out. I love you.
Get out of here.
Thanks for having me. Next time, Ryan. Good luck. I know whys are important. You'll do great.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. All right. Holy crap, that was awesome.
Yep.
But we gotta start doing the cruise planning.
I really expected, from what I was told, and I'm not a travel agent anymore, so it's not like I got inside scoops. I thought Royal was going to release their dates last week, and they didn't.
No, they didn't. I'm signing into Cruising Power right now as we speak, actually.
Dave Adams, Travelmation.
Dave Adams at travelmation.net. There you go. Thank you very much. And that would be what, the Levines at GoGoGetaways?
Yeah.
.com. So,
yes.
I mean, we will help each other out. Ryan is still part of this podcast, y'all.
Yeah.
You know, we might change the logo because
he's not you want to know, Dave, you want to know what I forgot? And I was just remembering it. Sean went to college with Ashley.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
Ashley remember they got brought up at Jock Lindsay's.
Yeah.
Does Ashley know Sean?
Yeah.
Okay. This could be fun.
I totally forgot about it until Ashley just messaged me.
All right, so I'm just picking a random week in June just to see if it's there yet.
There's no 4 days. There's only 6 and 8s.
Yeah.
There's a one in July that's not a bad 6 day.
Yeah, there's not.
The Western Caribbean 6 day is not awful.
Yeah. There's not a lot
because it hits a lot of different spots. I think it avoids Nassau, which is ideal.
Yeah.
Because anybody who's going on this cruise besides Ryan, because Ryan's scared of water, hasn't been in, like, nobody's. I'm over Nassau.
6 days is a lot though. For
just think, we spent 7 days with Josh and Taylor, and we survived.
Hey,
Alaska though.
J&T. We got.
No, I gave names.
Anyway, all right. So when Royal puts out their cruise dates, we will let y'all know. Hey, this is the time when I normally end the podcast, but it's only fitting. Ryan, you get to do the ending tonight, sir.
All right. Thank you for being with us tonight. I look forward to returning whenever that is, just like Lord of the Rings. And we will see you around the fire pit next week.
Just not Ryan.
Yeah, just not me.
See y'all.